how close are the other Sasquatches in terms of like knowledge of the universe to Sassy? Because Donnie seems to be close. He talks
Well,
about, what dimension, third.
Sass does stuff throughout the series, like he'll put his hand on you and you sort of become enlightened as well. And I've seen
That's it.
he's done it.
Yeah, I
I
was going
feel
to
like
say that as
maybe,
well.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's like I feel like the people that he's done that to, they're the people that, there's a conscious shift. There's a memory shift. They become in tune with, you know, the,
It's also kind of
the,
trippy that they become who they are because they have the memories of who they're going to become.
It's true. Their lives are planned out over and over again.
Yeah, I feel like that was kind of something I was thinking about the other day. Is like there's a paradox with Sassy that I really like in the fact that the first time you meet Sassy is not the first time he's met you. There's
Yeah.
never a first time in him meeting you because he's cycled it so many times before. You know, and he might not remember it's the first time he's met you. He might genuinely believe it's the first time sometimes. But due to his nature, the fact that he cycles, lifetimes in universes constantly, it seems, it's never the first time. And sometimes he's conscious of those previous encounters. Like, in the Sassy series where he flits between different universes, and he doesn't forget what happens in between, flipping from one universe to the other. He lives, adventures of lifetimes, I would imagine, and then comes back, into space between universes, goes into another one, comes back, and then eventually stops, and there's a conversation with his essence. He doesn't sort of forget what the previous conversation with the essence was. He remembers all of it. So that tells me that Sassy does sometimes remember, like he is truly awakened to what's going on. He's just going through universes for fun.
Crazy the idea that in that episode when he's blipping around, he's probably living out the equivalent of entire lifetimes in
Right.
between those blips.
I have
Which,
wondered that because it
yeah, I
doesn't
guess,
specifically say how long he spent in each universe at a time.
no.
Was he
And
just quickly dropping in, like, oh yeah, look, have a look at that, or was he dropping in, living an entire?
I think he's lost count of it because when somebody asks him how old he is, I think he's been interrogated in Area 51.
I don't understand the question.
Right, yeah, he just doesn't get it because I feel like for him, as you say, Chief, like he's probably just gone and done and, as Tom said, lived, countless different lives and just is at times lost all fucking meaning to him by this point and all the fucking drugs on top of it. No chance. No chance.
No, he doesn't take drugs. Fucking straight edge.
Straight edge.
I wonder if when he eventually returns back to his higher conscience, I wonder if he'll infect the higher conscience with his drug usage.
He probably has,
they're
because
definitely
is this
drugs,
Sassy
yeah.
the first Sassy? It's like he said, like after Sassy returns to him, they can go off and explore another multiverse. So that might imply that there have been multiple Sassys, before him, and there might even be multiple at the given moment
My
with different experiences and different like outlooks on life. Like there might be a actual straight edge Sassy.
I don't know about that.
No, I don't know about that, but
I feel like that breaks.
multiverse, mate.
Well, that was kind of an interesting thing about Mate, is that he's the only canonized like multiversal being in the Big Lez Show. So for me, to my head canon, there's only one Sassy in the fucking multiverse, and he has
Yeah.
one consciousness that permeates all of the iterations of Sassy throughout the multiverse. Whereas that's not the same as Claz or Les or Donnie. There's different variations of them, and they've all got their own separate memories of what's going on. Unless this goes back to what we were saying, Chief. Unless when you get touched by Sassy and he puts his hand on you and you awaken, then perhaps in those moments you're aware of all of the fucking shit that's going on with the other versions of you in the multiverse, or maybe
Oh yeah, because
specific universes. I don't know.
well, maybe with specifically those 4 Sasquatches and Owlie, was he plucked them out of time and, like you said, put his hand on them? Maybe they also became like slightly multiversal beings, not quite the level of Sassy, but still, they're a singularity within the universe, sort of thing.
I guess it's possible. I mean, like, Donnie's done some fucking skit shit, and you kind of don't expect it. But nothing like what Clarence has done. Clarence is fucking teleporting, like, by fucking locating and, like, bringing the bong back to life and doing some fucking crazy stuff. Like, we don't really see Donnie or Scruffy doing the same sort of level shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they might be aware, of the multiverse, but not able to manipulate it like Sassy can.
I think they probably know as much as we do by the end of the new Sassy series, because
Yeah.
judging just by Sassy's character, I feel like he's just not going to answer questions. He's not going to tell them. He's just going to say, "What are you talking about?"
Are we talking to me?
Yeah,
So
and
the
if he
others
says
sort of
something,
go along with it at that point because they don't know anything else. They've just been plucked out of their little reality that they were in, and now they're stuck on some little farm.
and that sort of brings in Nigel, doesn't it? Like he's just fucking lumped in with all these fucking Sasquatch, and they say, "Oh yeah, we're only gonna stay for a night," and then bang, 30 years later.
I love that it took him a while to just accept that what was happening was true.
I like
At
Nigel.
first, yeah, he's a pretty cool character.
Yeah, I had my doubts about Nigel when I first.
What if the next series could be like a prequel to the whole show, so showing like how Browntown got developed, and like Nigel going on like ghost hunting or something against them, then like lights that were in the sky and all this shit that comes out the portal.
Yeah, definitely gonna have a Nigel series on the cards. Like that's gonna be fantastic. And a Donnie shop series as well, and that would kind of open the door for potentially exploring more of Clarence's story, because it would be a Donnie and Clarence sort of focus series.
That could be incredible, almost like a if it was done in a similar format to what are those shows on history, like porn stars and hardcore porn,
Oh
and those
my
those
Oh
things.
yeah.
God, yeah, that would be amazing.
If
Just
it was
people
just
come
like
in to try and
cameramen
get
following
different
him
shit.
around, doing his deals and stuff like that.
That would be so good.
Yeah, that would be fucking sick. And then Nigel, as I kind of envisaged, like, every episode he'd be trying to get something different back in the fucking portal, or kill it, or send it back from where it came, because we saw a ton of shit come out. And they canonized his role, didn't they, as sort of like taking care of all the weird shit that lives in Browntown and making
Yeah.
sure
Yeah.
it's not getting out to the public and stuff.
I wonder how that works though, because we see in so many scenes just the Sasquatches just walking around in the town like nothing's going on.
Well, something I found when I was watching a Mike Nolan show again, in that episode where they fuck him up with that bong, like he mentions that he doesn't think that the boys are actually human. Like, does everyone think that they're just really hairy humans? So he did mention like, oh my, I don't think those guys are human or something.
Which
I was like,
episode
as
was
well.
that? I can't remember now.
Oh, what was it? Was it Ding Dong Deli when they bring the camera into Donnie's shop and they all go to the back
Oh yeah, yeah.
and they fuck Mike Nolan up because they put a load of shit in the bong.
Oh, it's very good. I
And it gives me
wondered
my
if
best screenshot from the show ever, just all 4 of the Sasquatches laughing.
I wondered if the Mike Nolan show is set in the same universe as the Big Lez Show that we've seen.
It seems to be because Sassy mentions to Jez that Mike Nolan got another show and he just kind of goes along with it, implying that he had one before.
Mm.
Yeah, good catch on that. I noticed that as well. I think it's all canon.
Character of Jez interests me a lot.
Yeah. One thing I always liked is in the Mike Nolan show when Les shoots Clarence, he shoots him the exact same way he goes on to shoot Norton. And then the King uses his gooch gun to kill Les in the exact same way that he killed Norton.
Like
It's like
Father Like Son, right?
it's like the cosmic karma that Sassy went on about.
Yeah. Hey, Tom, remember what we spoke about the other day, just on the subject of father and son? There's that sort of anti-Star Wars moment at the end of Trimmer Island 3, I think, where just like Darth Vader turns around to Luke and that, I am your father moment. Les turns
Yeah.
around to Quentin and one of the last things he says to him is, "Look, I'm not your fucking dad. I love you, mate, but
Yeah.
you gotta fuck off." And it was such a Big Les style slant on it. But I guess the wider thing that I'm trying to say is there's a theme through the Big Les show, that father son dynamic. He's a cunt to Quentin, but really loves the fuck out of him, just doesn't know how to be a good dad.
Yeah, it's that family trope of yeah, I'm a fucking cunt to you, but no other person is gonna be a cunt to you.
Yeah,
Being an asshole is
definitely.
kind of their way of showing love in a weird,
Or no
strange
matter
way.
Yeah,
Part of
or
me,
no matter how much of a cunt Les is, he's nowhere near as much of a cunt as Larinox.
Yeah, but he'll always do everything he can to get, to make sure Quentin's safe.
I think the only thing about that is that obviously we know that Les wants the money from Quentin's fund to buy all of his Glenworld dolls.
Yeah, fucking
And
Glenwood,
if
though.
anything
Well,
happens to
he's
Quentin,
not a
that
good
means
person. He's
his
a
Glenworld.
shit person. But when
Terrible
it comes
cunt.
to life or death scenarios, he'll always choose Quentin.
We need a Quentin series, don't we, boys? We need a backstory filled out.
Test you, baby.
Fucking test tube, baby.
It's a whole backstory. No need to get into it now.
Can't wait.
I wonder what he would do though if he decided to just make just an entirely new series, separate from anything in the Big Les show.
I don't
Like
think
just,
that. I think
I
even if
know.
we did do that, because oh, sorry, I was going to
Oh
say
no,
like
I fucking you say first. I will say in a minute.
All right. You remember the first time we got the movie director shit dropped on us with Clarence Claymore, the movie
Oh
director.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was sort of like that fourth wall doco style video drop. I remember when that dropped, I was fucking confused, and I took an instant dislike to it. I was like, oh shit. If this is canon, this pisses me off because it takes away the genuine sort of impact of Les dying to
Yeah.
suddenly think, oh shit, he's an actor. So when that came out, I was kind of hoping for what you were saying, Tom. I was like, fucking please let this be completely unrelated to the Big Lez show. Just let it be something that he's fucking cooked up to do whatever. But typical Jared, it's always linked. It's always part of a bigger picture, and that meta story just keeps fucking building, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I kind of don't know if I would fall for it again even if he came